may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you, is with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you, is with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you, is with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you, is with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you, is with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you.
Hello and good evening to you, all the way from our studios here in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with the Ambassador of Hope, with your host, yours truly. Thank God you are alive, because every day above the ground, it's a good day. So long as there's breath in your nostrils, heartbeat in your chest, you can never give up. Tomorrow is not going to be like any yesterday that you've seen. There's still hope for you. That is why I sit here every Tuesday with hope in my heart and communicating hope to you. That no matter where you are, no matter what life may have done to you, life may have thrown the kitchen sink at you, but you are still standing. You are stronger than you ever thought you were. God believes in you. Believe in yourself. It's only going to get better. Episode number 116. Can you imagine? Episode 116. 116 times of learning together, becoming better together. Because when you get better, things around you get better. But you know something? I've got some news for you. I'm going to put out a flyer there. Something that's coming your way. Last week I talked to you about it, and gradually it's building. You don't want to miss this. Right there on your screen, I have two things coming up, two tracks coming up. The first one is for emerging leaders. It's a 6 months mentorship from me to you. 41 years of leadership experience, pastoring, talking, observing, watching. I want to help you. I want to throw a lot of things at you to make you a better person. I want to open your eyes. I want to open your heart. I want to open your understanding. I want to sharpen you for the times ahead of us. The world is crying out for leaders. Leaders who are as strong as the days are. And you are that leader. Then there's also going to be a leadership masterclass. You know, the first one for emerging leaders are the young ones who are coming up. People who want to get into pastoring, people who want to lead somewhere in the church world or something. You are going to be. Then this masterclass is for accomplished leaders already. Pastors who are pastors already, business people, marketplace apostles, whoever you are. Masterclass is going to be awesome. 2 tracks. I'm going to give you more information, but it's only going to be on the Advanced Life app. Never forget that. It's going to be on the Advanced Life app. So please make sure that you go to Google Play Store, go to Apple Store, and download the Advanced Life app. We're going to put the information there for you. That is why I'm delayed a little bit. I want many of you to download the app. I want you to get ready. There's so much, because I'm going to interact a lot with you, not just on social media, but on the app. You go out there, look for Advanced Life. That is our logo. You see these 4 concentric circles. It's called a Dinkrahine. It talks about leadership. So please go out there and download the app. Make my day whilst I make your day. Listen, I'm very excited for next year. Beginning in January, we're going to get ourselves busy. We're going to get ourselves, into the groove. You cannot afford to miss it. There's so much coming your way. If you enjoyed my time with you as Ambassador of Hope, my goodness, something is coming up as your leader, your coach, your mentor, your sharpener, your enabler, your kingmaker. It's going to be amazing. Thank you again for coming up, and I'll talk to you again about that. Episode number 116. For the past few weeks, we've been dealing with the topic, it's in the house. You know, I had planned for it to be just a one-off thing, but the thing is building and building. I think that, you know how sometimes you feel there's unfinished business, and it's going to be there because there's so much. The feedback, many times, is your feedback that informs our ability to go forward. So whenever you have some good feedback, give them to us, and it will really help us. So don't forget, listen, we are streaming live right now on 2 major platforms. We are live on Facebook as the Ambassador of Hope. Then we are live on YouTube as Frank Ofosu-Appiah Official. So please get your device, and let's share. Please, can you share to 10 people for me? Tag somebody. Let's do this. It's building, and I'm very, very, very grateful. It's been amazing. If it's worth hearing, it is worth sharing. So let's do that. I have family right here. Oh, look at that. All over on YouTube. Frank Ofosu-Appiah Official. El Mac. Yes, El Mac says we are back again. You bet we are back again. Hey, Ella, good evening to you. Esther Opon. Hey, my birthday girl. I hope you are doing very well. God richly bless you, Mami Ajua. Yes, this is another Tuesday. It's going to be amazing. Adam, good evening from Ghana. To Ghana. Josephine. Hey, Manola Muzu Blaze. God bless you so much. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming up. It's gonna be a blast. Well, let me check my Facebook crowd. Where my Facebook crowd at? Yes. Nana Kunedo Brave all the way from Toronto, Canada. Nana, good evening to you. Auntie Mary Frimpong, you are right in the house from the land of 10,000 lakes, Pastor Richard. God bless. Emma Ronnie, God bless you so much. Yes, please share. Make sure. Prophet Isaac Tamagana, God bless you this evening. Thank you so much for coming. Hey, Rams, what up, Rams? I hope you're doing well in Ottawa, Canada. From Missouri, Pastor Denzel. Pastor Denzel, thank you for surprising me on Saturday in the city of Dallas, Texas, and for your ministry. You are such an amazing human being. God richly bless you. Julia, we give him all the glory. Philip, God bless you. Delaware is represented by George. George, good evening. George and Adelaide, they come one after the other. They are joined forever at the hip. God richly bless you. Akosinyako. Tracy Ann, you are here in the house. God bless you. Good evening to all of you. All the way from the Republic of Bronx. Pastor Festus, God bless. Lola is in the house. My miracle lady president, you are all here. There's a guy who says he's unbreakable, unshakable with the Ambassador of Hope. His name is Gabondi Ofosu-Appiah. The surname talks about itself. The last name talks about itself. BLPB, God bless you. Ellen, good evening to you. Michael says let's share. Please, let's do that. Please, let's share. And let's get it. Mary Sweets, good evening to you. Thank you. I receive your blessing. Marilyn, Reverend M, good evening to you. Alfred Akosa and Prachum Brimpon, you are here. Let's nyako. God bless. Lizzie Tete, good evening to you, my daughter. God richly bless you. Prolific, you are here in the house. Now, Colette Grace, good evening to you too. Oh, I'm so happy you are all here. Sammy Vaglas, God bless you. Shafi, yes, but for God richly bless you. God richly bless you so much. Vicky Raji, Silla, you are in the house. Silla is in the house. God richly bless all of you. It's been an amazing journey. Listen, let me say this again to you, that this thing called Tuesdays with the Ambassador of Hope is not another church service. I'm not in competition with, I know you go to very good churches, you have good pastors, teachers, prophets, evangelists, pastors, CS, everything. And wherever you go, please be there, support, help. But this is just a compliment. I know your pastors are building walls of defense around you, doing great things. I'm only bringing little bricks to help. I want to help you handle life from Sunday to Sunday. I want to fill in the gaps. I want to complement the little things that you may be lacking. That is why I'm here. And Tuesdays with the Ambassador of Hope is for people who are just tired of the same old. People who are fed up with living from crisis to crisis. You know, sometimes you look into your life and it's like, when am I at all going to see some progress? It's like my life is from one crisis to another, one trouble to another. Listen, I am here for those who are determined to step off the bus of empty and unrealistic promises. I've told you, and I tell it again, that I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and just give you promises that God didn't even make. I'm going to be realistic with you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to pull you into the storms of life and help you and let you understand that sometimes life happens. Sometimes things happen to all of us. Nobody is exempted from trouble. When you gave your life to the master, he didn't write an adversity exclusion clause in your contract. Things happen, but I want to be the one who is your compass, the one who's your pathfinder, the one who leads you. So it's very, very important. I want to talk to those of you who have taken time to study your life. You've looked at your life. You have looked at the path that you have been on. You've studied your outcomes and you have determined life is not magic. You know, there are people who think life is magic. Somebody waves their hands over your hocus pocus and says, and you say, I receive. Put your hand on your head and somehow life has happened. How is that working for you? Is it working? Please hear me. Life is not just cliches and platitudes. Life is not a fanfare. Life is serious business. Because I want to tell you, if the path you are on right now would have taken you to your destination, I'm sure you would have been there already. So whenever it's getting rough, please don't curse the road. Just change your direction. Don't curse the road, just change your direction. And this is my burden for Tuesdays with the Ambassador of Hope. I want to be the bridge between your prophecy and its manifestation. I want to be that in-between person who helps you when the most vicious battles of your life rage. And we've been unpacking a particular narrative, and that has been our template for our wisdom, for it's in your house. 2 Kings chapter number 4, the first 7 verses. So much loaded in there. Every day I look at it, every day I see some things and say, this will be so good for my Tuesday crowd. 2 Kings chapter number 4. One day, the widow of a member of the group of prophets came to Elisha and cried out, my husband who served you is dead, and you know how he feared the Lord. But now a creditor has come threatening to take my 2 sons as slaves. That's sad. What can I do to help you? Elisha said. Tell me, what do you have in the house? Nothing at all except a flask of olive oil, she replied. And Elisha said, borrow as many empty jars as you can from your friends and neighbors. Then go into your house with your sons and shut the door behind you. Pour olive oil from your flask into the jars, setting each one aside when it is filled. So she did as she was told. Her sons kept bringing jars to her, and she filled one after another. Soon every container was full to the brim. Bring me another jar, she said to one of her sons. There aren't any more, he told her. And then the olive oil stopped flowing. And when she told the man of God what had happened, this is what Elisha said to her. Now go sell the olive oil, pay your debts, and you and your sons can live on what is left over. Wow. A desperate, needy woman. Life was cruel to her. Life was happening to her. This is something that she didn't ask for. This is a script that she didn't write by herself. This is something that she never invited to her party, but it came anyway. She lost her husband. Imagine the trauma, the pain, the heartache, like her heart has been ripped out of her chest. What was she going to do? The breadwinner was gone. Her life support was gone. Just put your mind in there, in that terrain, in that tradition, in that custom. And to add the proverbial insult to injury, she finds out that her husband is heavily in debt. Whoa. The man dies, your dreams are gone, only to discover that the will had nothing for you but debt that has been left behind. And then it gets worse. Creditors show up and say, hey, your husband owed us this amount of money. And since you cannot pay, we're going to take your 2 children, your sons, who would have inherited their father, but they inherited nothing but debt. Sons that could have at least gone out to work to fend for her, themselves and for her, they have been taken. And that can easily mirror a lot of lives I'm talking to today. Yours may not be like a blow for blow replica of what this woman went through, but you know what you have gone through already. But the beautiful thing about this woman that I love, that she did not just sit down. She did not capitulate what was happening. She didn't just sit and say, well, if it's going to be, it's going to be. I'm going to wait for the inevitable. And that is the attitude of a lot of people. Let me tell you, nothing changes until you move. The woman determined that I'm not going to sit here. At least I've got to make a move. Hear me, somebody, you've been waiting forever. And you have these beautiful religious cliches, platitudes. Oh, I'm waiting on God. But the truth is that God may be waiting on you. God is telling you, when are you going to get up and do something? When are you going to get up and smell the coffee? When are you going to get up and do something? Because, listen, there were some 4 lepers. I've told you the story several times. I think it comes right after this chapter 4 thing. And who were ostracized out of the city walls because they had leprosy. Something they didn't ask for. My friend, this life sometimes is not fair. You've got to understand that. And besides, know this. Nobody has it easier than you. Everybody that you meet may be going through something. I have to tell you that. The only reason why sometimes others are seen more is that they have the ability to advertise their troubles more. Sometimes, in spite of the nice clothing, the makeup, the cologne, the shirts, or whatever, people are going through things. That is why you've got to be nice. At least if you have nothing to offer anybody, please just leave them alone. People are struggling. People are either fighting something or something is fighting them. And many times, it's not people's faults. This woman got up and said, listen, I've got to do something. Guess what? She went to Elisha the prophet. Of course, Elisha the prophet was a miracle worker. Everybody in that terrain knew that he carried a double portion and could do amazing things. But I believe that she went to that man because there was relationship. Listen to her words. She said, my husband who served you, my husband served you, used to serve you. So there's a connection there. She is making withdrawals from the deposits that the husband has paid. I think I've talked about it in other episodes. Listen, don't attempt to make withdrawals where we haven't made deposits. Build meaningful relationships. Make sure that you manage, you steward your relationships. Because life is all about relationships. When Adam sinned, God could have created another one, but God said, Adam, where are you? It means, Adam, I need you. Never forget that. It's very, as for me, I'm a private person. I don't need, listen, one day you need somebody. I kid you not. Maybe you need, but you are a very good actor. So the woman went to Elisha and she said something. My husband served you. And number 2, he feared God. She was revealing her religious mindset. Many times people have this religious, faulty mindset. Let me tell you, look at what she said. Number 1, my husband served God. Number 2, he feared God. They are all nice. But how come that they are in debt? So serving God and fearing God are very, very, very good. Every one of us must serve God. Every one of us must reverence God. But it doesn't end there. Many times our religiosity doesn't allow our minds to go beyond the fact that we can do other things for God to bless us. Many of you are angry with God. You are angry with your pastors. You are angry with your church. You are angry with society because, hey, I've served God and I got nothing. I've done this. Listen, could it be possible that your door is in front of you but you are not seeing it? So the woman went to Elisha. Let's go right ahead. And Elisha said, what do you want me to do for you? And before the woman could answer, Elisha went into another gear and said and asked her a penetrating question. Tell me, what do you have in the house? What's in your house? I mean, that sounds like if I had anything, would I have come to you? I am broke. I'm bare bone broke. And I'm coming to you. You're going to ask me this question, this silly question? But no, the woman said, I have nothing. I have nothing. Then jar the man. Remember anything? Oh, yes. A jar of olive oil. A jar of olive oil. And Elisha knew that that was the solution to that woman's problem. And I've been telling you the past episodes that the house is a metaphor for your life. Your life, you were born, you were loaded. You were loaded with potential. When you were born, you were loaded with potential and possibilities. Your house has everything that you need for your breakthrough. God had your success. God had your well-being in mind when he created you. Never forget that. That is why you have the things that you have. Your gifts, your talent, your abilities, your aptitudes, the opportunities that come your way. They are all given to you to help you live a life that is full of consequence. Never forget that. Listen, the saddest thing you can do to your life is to waste your gift, is to waste your talent, is to grow to a particular age and look over the panorama of your life and realize that there were so many opportunities that came your way, but because of your religious mindset, you didn't take it. I grew up in a very religious time, in a religious denomination, to the extent that we even thought that even having money was a sin. We didn't tolerate rich people at all until we were doing fundraising. Then we had to go and get one, regardless of who he was, to come and chair our fundraising committee for us. And as a young man in my 20s, I used to think a lot about it. That why don't we have people in church that will preclude us from having fundraising, that will say to pastor, listen, don't bring all these people around here. Or there's a group of people that say, we want to do this, want to do this, want to do this. So I determined that one day, that is the trajectory that my life was going to take. Please listen. In the last episode, we talked about some few things. And we talked about the first one. I want to refresh our minds because I'm going to go on from there. Is that we need to have a change of mindset. Mindset change. Change your mindset. Elisha's question, very poignant, very pointed, very penetrating, was aimed at rearranging the woman's mindset. Why? Because you could see the religiosity of the woman's appeal. My husband feared God. My husband served you. And this is his situation. And Elisha wanted her to understand something. That lady, you have a lack mindset. You have a mindset that is strong, but I want to rearrange it to let you have a mind that can have it. Hear me. One of the greatest and heaviest and strongest slave masters that you can ever have, that will hold you back from where you got to go, is your mind. It's your mind. I don't know about you, but personally, I do not like poverty in any shape, size, or form. I've traveled this world. I've been to many nations. And I've seen poverty. I've seen the color of poverty. I've seen poverty reduce nations, people, families, people that had great potential, beautiful and handsome, great people. Poverty has reduced them to nothing. Let me put it out there for you, that poverty starts in your mind. It's not metal bars that hold you, it's mental bars. And I put it out there for you, right on your screen. You can screenshot it, you can tweet it, you can exit, whatever. That poverty is first of all a mindset before it becomes a life set. It starts from your mind. And I told you last week that the person who says I can and the person who says I can't, they are both right. Hear me, my friend. Your mind is such a terrible thing to waste. You will never go anywhere that your mind has no first been. I'll say it again. You will never go anywhere that your mind has no first been. Your mind is a creative force that God gave to you between your two ears. With your mind, you do things. With your mind, you create. With your mind, you have ideas. With your mind, you can rise up from where you are and go to where you want to be. Hear me. The greatest changes in life start when you first change your mind. The greatest changes in life start when you first change your mind. It's very important that you understand that. It's only, somebody said, and I'm quoting the person, so please don't get me wrong. He says that it's only the fool and the dead who cannot change their minds. Listen, it doesn't matter how young or old you are. Begin to have some mental renovation. Have some mental renovation. Have some mental renovation. It's one of the things that I have worked on for next year in the church that I have the humbling privilege of serving, to work a lot on that. Mind renovation. It will surprise you how many things are within your reach, and yet your mind has blinded you from seeing. What is there in your house? And today's episode 116, we want to start. We are going down back to our narrative. And I want us to critically interrogate some of the instructions that Elisha gave to this needy woman. For many of us, this is our remit. You are in trouble? Fine. You have a personal prophet? Okay. You have a pastor? Go to him. Pastor, here's my situation. You walk and pray. Use your hand over me. Just say something. Listen, every miracle that comes to you starts with an instruction, obedience to an instruction. For those of you who are Christians who read your Bible, look at it. Miracles always are the result of obedience to instructions. He tells Naaman, go and fall 7 times into the dirty Jordan. And Naaman was ticked. He said, I thought he would come here, wave his hands over wherever I have my malady, and call upon the name of it. Naaman represents you and I. Many times we have this preordained mindset that this is how God must do the thing for me. Not knowing that sometimes it's just the obedience. Naaman had pride. That was his leprosy. It was more dangerous than the physical one that was killing him on the outside. Please listen. Look at the instructions. We're going to go back and pick them one after the other. I'm sure we may not finish, but we'll continue if we don't. I'm sure the woman may not have understood what the man was telling her. That go borrow vessels from your neighbors and start pouring. Just one jar, one flask, one cup of oil. What can it do? But this woman obeyed. Sometimes you have to do the ridiculous in order to get the miraculous. The result was her breakthrough. We're going to look at that. So we're going to pick it one after the other a little bit. I've got about 7 things very quickly I want us to have. I hope you are getting blessed. Let me check out to see who came late. Well, good evening to all of you who are here. I think there are a lot of you. Wow, so many of you. Hey, my eagle. It was nice meeting you in Dallas the other day. God richly bless you. Yvonne is in the house. Claudia Joa, God bless you. Yes, Lizzie says life is serious business. It really is. Godfrey Ezekiel, Godfred, God bless you so much. Manye, we are all here. And to all of you who are incognito too, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless. Listen, so many of us. Let's get into business. Somebody told me the other day that, Papa, you tend to kind of shortchange your YouTube crowd. So, oh wow, so many of you here. God bless you, Soldier. God bless you, Daniel. You are all here. Wow. Look at that. Benedict, good evening to you. Angela, you are here in the house. Yes, BMK says share. Benison says share. Wow, the man with the Greek BA, God bless you. God bless you so much. Hey, let's go. Let's get into our thing. But I'm going to give all these things to you. They are going to help you. We're going to download them a little bit. But number one, when I say it's in your house, there's something in there. And then first thing we want to interrogate is, you have a jar of oil. A jar of oil. That's in verse number 2 where we read. Elisha asked the woman, what do you have in your house? No furniture, no bed, no husband, no nothing, maybe no light. But the woman said, all I have is a flask, a jar of olive oil. I'm here to announce to you, my friend, that there's oil in your house. It's there. And listen, you don't need for me to take you through geophysics or anything to know this one thing. I don't want to get into organic chemistry in this thing. Oil is wealth. Oil is wealth in any form. Whether it's oil from the fruit, or oil palm, or palm kernel, or coconut oil, or vegetable oil, or oil. Oil is wealth, and the oil is buried on the inside of you. Every one of you have a form of oil. You remember that beautiful psalm that was written by the sweet psalmist David? Possibly the most beloved psalm, Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. In the 5th verse, he says something. He says, you anoint my head with oil. You anoint my head with oil. Then my cup will overflow, then prosperity. There's oil upon your head. Now, in the natural, you and I know that in the natural, oil is one of the most important commodities. People trade in oil. People become rich in oil. Oil have powered economies. Look at something like the United Arab Emirates. Just about a generation ago, Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Doha, Qatar, all of these places were just waste deserts. They sat on the Sahara Desert, nothing. They were just herdsmen. They produced almost nothing except dates and that kind of thing until they struck oil in commercial quantities. And now the whole world today is going to Dubai. The whole world is going to Qatar. The whole world is going to Abu Dhabi. The whole world is going to they have clouds. They are doing amazing things. Now they sit at the community of nations. Have you realized that they have become strong and very effective negotiators in world conflict? The so-called superpowers today pander to the Arab nations. Why? Because of oil. Desert has been transformed and blossomed. And ladies and gentlemen, that's amazing. They discovered what was underneath their feet and they used it. They realized that there was hidden treasure in the sand under their feet. I feel like saying some things, but I don't know. My body itches, but I'll let it itch today. Maybe next time we need to face this question. What is under your feet? And I'm saying that to some cultures and to some nations. It's incredulous. It's disheartening that there are nations, there are cultures, they have some of the world's wealth underneath their feet. They walk on it. But we never do anything out of it. What is under your feet? Maybe if we finish it's in the house, we may go to it's under your feet. The Arab nations, they saw it. And they use, there are other people too who have this oil. But I'm not going there. We then have oil for cooking. Vegetable oil, whatever. But fossil fuel, oil, that's driven the world today. The Industrial Revolution used to have coal. But now coal is no more king. Oil is king. We are trying to go to green technology, green economy. We thank God it's happening and it might happen. But oil reigns. It's drilled, it's processed, and it's sold to make big time money. Let me tell you something. You have oil in your house, in you. No, the greatest and the best oil you have is mind oil. Mind oil. You know what? That gift of creativity that God gave to you. Look at it this way. God is the creator and you are creative. You can take that little oil and make something out of it. The talent that he gave to you, the resources that you are wasting, they are all in your house. God put them in there to bless you. I know you've been praying a lot. I know you've been asking for help a lot. But could it be possible that that thing that you are looking for is right there in your house? It's right there. It's right there. You've looked everywhere. You've traveled. You've relocated. You've taken authority and dominion. You've done this. You've somersaulted. You've done the electric and everything. Could it be possible, my friend, that God is saying, say amen and just get up and find the oil and use it? Hear me. That oil is not just for you. It's also for you to play church. For those of you who are in church, it's so many times we just play church and church and church and church. And they're not. Listen, your prophetic gift that he gave to you is not only for church, telling people their names. How about going to the boardroom? How about going to the high-end executive places and to the tech places, IT places where they are struggling to crack some codes, and with your prophetic gift, you give direction. Then let's look at this, let's look at this. And with your prophetic gift, you open up businesses for your people. What do you think would happen? We cannot just play church within the four walls and tickle ourselves and do self-congratulation. No, the world is waiting for your manifestation. The world is looking for you. You have oil. Look at a man called Joseph. You remember Joseph in the Bible? He had oil. Joseph carried oil. His oil was interpreting dreams. Look at that man. He went through a lot. He was sold, he was rejected, he was hated, he faced persecution, false charges against him for attempted rape, which he never did. He found himself languishing in jail for many years, but his gift still worked. His oil still worked until that oil promoted him to sit on the throne as second in command to the Pharaoh of Egypt. You have oil, my friend. What is that oil? I can't tell you what it is. Ask God. Or sometimes you even know it, but you are scared. I double dog dare you. Be bold. Be strong. Go for that oil. Do something with it. And see what the Lord will do with you. Find it. Use it. What is your oil? You are very creative. And I'll come to it again because I have a heart for you, my friend. Not that I don't like people praying. I pray. I'm a prayer machine. Not that I don't like people going to church. I've spent most of my life in church, and chances are that I'll spend all my life, the rest of my life, as a church man. I love it. I love to honor God. I want to help people. But I've thought over life. I've looked over my shoulders. I've looked prospectively. And I realized that sometimes our biggest container are the four walls of a church. We are too religious. We have too many religious platitudes. And then we turn around and we point to who we call unbelievers. I don't like using that word a lot. We turn around and look like they are using this, they are using magic. No, they are using their oil. They are using their oil. They are using their oil. So oil. Number 2. I hope you are getting blessed today. Number 2 is in verse number 3. The instruction that Elisha gave to the woman. He said, go and borrow vessels. Go and borrow empty jars, empty vessels. Borrow as many as you can from friends and neighbors. I beg your pardon. Remember, you have oil. We said it. Your gift, your talent, your idea, your resource, whatever it is. But the oil by itself is fluid. Your oil by itself sometimes has no character. You need jars, you need vessels to pour the oil in. Other than that, it remains the little oil that the woman had. So long as the woman had that little jar, that flask of olive oil, that is all she had. How much would it have brought to her? I'm sure she couldn't even have used it for 2 days. It was just a jar of oil. That was her last. And sometimes we eat our oil when we should be investing our oil. Don't forget that. Sometimes you say, oh, the money I have is too small, blah, blah, blah. Then that is not for food. It's for investing in something. Don't ever forget that. Hear me. So long as that jar of oil, that flask of oil is in your hands and small, it will remain small and it may go waste. The law of diminishing returns will touch it. So what are those vessels? He said, go borrow vessels. Go borrow jars. What are they? For me and for the sake of this teaching, I see it as other people's ideas. I see it as mentorship. I see it as opportunities. I see it as established systems and methods already that you can borrow from and pour in your gift and use it. I'm talking about things that will build your capacity. They could be in things, they could be in systems, but more so they are in people. Hear me, my friend. Somebody has already done what you are seeking to do. There's nothing new under the sun. Somebody knows what you are trying to discover. Somebody has an idea that can help you. Let me put this thing out there for you. Listen, if you don't have a brain, and I'm not being insulting, please, I'm not being disrespectful, but understand that if you don't have a brain, borrow one. If you don't have a brain on something, borrow somebody's brain. Somebody has been there before. You have the oil. So you don't have to borrow more oil. No. You need other vessels to help you expand the capacity of your oil. You have that creative gift. You can sing. You have the gift of comedy. Yes, comedy. Listen, when I was growing up, when people had a sense of humor, we used to call it concert. You know, and people were very derogative about people who had a sense of humor. Even today, people still do it. When people are funny, they think they are stupid. When people are funny, but look at today, look on television, look on social media. People are making billions, millions, and billions just by the gift of making people laugh. It's a gift, my friend. Where I'm coming from, people who make people laugh, they were used as court jesters. They were found in King's Court. Yeah, come and fool. They were called fools. But people are showing us. You know examples all over the place. They make you laugh. Saturday Night Live, and they'll make you laugh, and you sit up, and they have you eating from their hands, and they are making money out of you. And you can go anywhere, parties and things, and you can make people laugh. Let them pay for it. Advertise. I'm the life and soul of the party. I can make even people laugh at funerals. Laughter is healing for the soul. Who doesn't like to laugh? This world is a sad place, my friend, and it's an oil that God has given to you. Maybe for me, it's my teaching gift. It's my oil. And I use it to teach. I write books. And you know something? The system and method that has come to meet me, that has been a blessing, and I'm using it right now. I am borrowing from social media vessel. And I'm using this oil on this social media to bless you. Some of you can sing. Monetize it. The other time I saw somebody, all they do is to sit down and unwrap packages. And thousands of people were watching them. And social media companies will send them money. And you are so gifted. What are you doing about it? Sometimes I look at some of these arts that people have done many years ago. The Monets, the Rembrandts, the other things, Van Goghs and other things. The other day, Mommy and I were in Florence in Italy. And we went to see, is it Florence or something? Somewhere we've been all over the place. And we want to see this art gallery by this famous artist. And I looked at the art and I said, I think I can draw this on an off day. So what? And people are paying millions of dollars for that? My friend, there's oil on the inside of you. It's a tool. So if you are so amazing on social media, you have following on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, on all of those places. And by the way, please hear me. Don't get me wrong. That tool, that social media tool is not a weapon for useless ventures. Can you stop using it all your life, posting false photos that nobody cares? There are some of you, every time you have to post yourself looking like this, doing your hair like this, doing that. Meanwhile, you are broke. And you are putting on a false appearance there. People watch you. And then you go turn around to go and borrow money from them. Fat chance. No. Hear me. Vessels. Go borrow vessels. Vessels can be strategic partnerships. Let me put it out there for you to write. Write it down. Have strategic partnerships. Today I went with a team to go and see a particular conference center, just looking at things. And then I realized that within that conference center, there are vendors, people who do chairs, restaurants, and conference centers all around me, right here where I sit. There are all kinds of conference centers around. And I realized that every conference center, there are, at the various junctions, there are gas stations. At the exits of freeways to conference, there are gas stations. There are banks, there are restaurants, there are hotels. What is happening? People are borrowing vessels. Strategic partnerships. Unfortunately, there are some cultures, they are very good at destroying vessels that will help them. You have oil. Identify vessels that you can pour into. Identify it, use it. I hope I'm helping you. Maybe I'll give you one more, and depending on my mood, we'll see. So remember, number one, you have a jar. What is in your house? A jar of oil. A jar of oil. Your creativity. You carry oil. You carry oil. It's there on your inside. You are creative. You have talent. You are talented. The dressmaking, you are talented. The hair braiding, you are talented. For some of you, even as students, if you can braid hair, how about starting a side gig at school? Braid hair. It's going to be amazing, isn't it? Braid white people's hair. Give them dreads. Hang some African things on there. Call them names. Give it names. Color it. I'm giving you ideas. People get bored in college after learning. Find something to do. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about that? Entrepreneurship is there. You have talent. Use it. Use it. Then go borrow vessels. Other people's ideas. Look at it. Can I use it? Can it help me? Do I need to get a mentor who can help me maximize my oil, monetize my oil? Are there opportunities that keep coming my way after I pray? The systems, the methods, the social media. Can I use it? I just did an advert for you, mentorship for emerging leaders and the masterclass. You know what? That is my oil. But I'm going to use social media, technology as my vessel to be a blessing to you. The third thing that he told me is in verse number 4. He said, once you borrow the vessels, the next thing you've got to do, get indoors. Look at that. And it says, shut the door. Well, the New Living Translation, there it is. It says that go into your house with your sons and shut the door behind you. This is very powerful. I want to take my time and talk to you. I want to take my time and talk to you. Don't go off. I hope you are learning a lot today. I hope you are learning. Shut the door. This could be a season. You see, when you shut a door, it's indicative of obscurity. Because when you are hiding indoors, nobody sees you. And the prophet is telling us that in this life, there are seasons that you intentionally have to be obscure. Keep quiet and pour your oil. Keep quiet and pour your oil. The truth is that too many of us, we are madly in love with popularity. But life is a process. There's sometimes that you need to hide. There's sometimes that you need to be quiet. Hide behind indoors. Close the thing. Put your head in your books. Steady. Keep quiet. Whilst other people are all over the place, clubbing in the night, doing that, put your head, you know it. Graduate before time. Have time for yourself. Shut the door. That is when you develop your business. The time that you develop your gift. The time that you develop your ministry. Let me tell you something. I came to Atlanta in the year 2000. And it was obvious for ministry. That is why I came here. But I determined that I was not going to do things just like anybody else. So I'll spend some time observing, whatever. But one of the things that I did a lot, because before I came in here, I was a senior pastor, I was traveling, I was busy all over the place. So there were some disciplines, I was not getting into them a lot like I used to. Because when your responsibility and the scope of your influence enlarges, there are some things that really becomes a little bit hard. I'm talking about fasting, talking about prayer, talking about meditation, going back to read the word like you've never read it before. Because you get to a level of success or whatever, it becomes like autopilot. You know what? I went down back to basics. I hid in my basement. The basement wasn't finished then. I hid in there. It was murderously hot in the summers and terribly cold in the winters. But you know what? I spent days fasting. I spent days praying. I spent days strategizing. I spent days. I had a colleague came out from Canada, Dr. Dugan, and we'll spend 21 days. We'll fast. I mean, I fasted until somebody asked me one day, Pastor, do you have a disease? Something happening to you? But I was there. I was digging. I had shut the door. I didn't go out anywhere to preach. I'm sure for people, for all they know, I was even dead and gone and buried and they didn't care. But I was shutting the door. Hear me, you see, whenever you want propagation with the seed, what do? You open up the ground, you dig the ground, and you put the seed in there. And then you bury the seed in obscurity. Let me put it out there for you. Seeds, they germinate. Seeds, they develop in darkness. That is underneath the soil. That is where you put the seed. You can't always put the seed in your hand and show everybody, and it will not. It almost feels like the seed is dead because it will die. But it will bring. Listen, sometimes just go quiet for a little season and work on your oil. I hope I'm helping you. Sometimes just get out of circulation for a while and reinvent yourself. Don't readily and immediately post anything. Later thing you post it. Later, no. When you do that, you know what? You are inviting unnecessary warfare and pressure on yourself. Take it easy, my friend. Take it easy. Shut the door. Sometimes shut the door. Keep quiet. Keep your cards to your chest for a little while. Work on it until you bring it out. There are two major things that you need to shut the door on, and I just feel that I needed to. Number one, just shut the door on predators. Let's shut the door on predators. You know predators? They just eat your gift. They just take advantage of your oil, and they give you nothing back. They steal your ideas. They enjoy your sweat. They use your name, and you get nothing back in return. My friend, shut the door on such individuals. You don't need them. You know who I'm talking about. Don't look at anybody. Don't look at anybody. You can think about them, but don't look at them. You know what I'm talking about. Anytime they come into your space, it's only to take. You never hear from them until they need something. You share your idea with them. Before you know, they've done a glorified version, and yours look like second hand. Can you shut the door on predators? You don't need that, my friend. You don't need that. Then number two, shut the door on negative people. You heard me right. You read my lips. Negative people. Shut the door on them. I'm talking about those who talk you out of your dream. Everything that you can't do that. I know you can't do this. No, shut the door on them. They want to keep you in their own little corner. Say, a woman can't do this, a black person can't do this, a white person can't do this, and they just talk about little things. They see nothing good with anybody. They see nothing good with anything. And please, my friend, listen. You have no business listening to these people who forever shut down. You know, there are people, all their time on social media is to tell you what is wrong in the world. And who is wrong and who is doing this. You can't do that. I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity. I'm sure some people, you know about it at least. That there's something called labor ward where women go to give birth to children. That place is not accessible to the general public. It's only for very few people, selected people. Because in the labor world, life is about to come. The ones who are there are the people who are there to make the woman in labor bring forth what she has to bring forth. The doctors, the nurses, husband, mothers, people who are very close. And if you are there, you hear them, keep breathing. Yes, push until baby comes. You don't need people who kill the baby in the labor ward. Hear me. If you continually fellowship with turkeys, you will never be able to fly with eagles. Be bold. Be strong. Shut the door and quietly do your thing. And after you open your door and you come out, trust me, they will clap for you. And you know what they will say? We knew you could do it. We knew you could do it. Let me look at the time. I think I'm going to end here. But I've got some interesting ones coming up your way. It's going to be a blessing. So let me do a quick recap. Number one, you have oil in your house. There's something on your head. Please find, you know it. It comes to you naturally. Heaven gave it to you when you came. You do it. It's natural. It's your aptitude. You don't struggle for it. It's your oil. Remember, oil is expensive. But oil doesn't come cheap. Mind it. Find it. Do something. Think about United Arab Emirates. The Emirati, all of them were herds people, desert people. Only dates. Until oil came. You have oil. Yours is not just fossil fuel, but talent, creativity, resources, oil. Then number two, go borrow vessels. Remember that. Go borrow vessels. People's ideas. The mentorship. Listen, your mentor is not your sponsor. There are people who think, oh, I have a mentor and the mentor must sponsor me. Don't do that. They'll block you. The system, the opportunities, they are your jars, they are your vessels. If you don't have a brain, I told you, borrow one. Vessels can be strategic partners. Do that. And then the last one is learn to shut the door. A season of quietness. A season of building your thing. A season where you develop your thing little by little by little by little. I hope you've been blessed. Let me talk to you about something. Tomorrow I'm going to go live again. It's random. It's no studio work. It's random. I'm not sure about the time that I want to go, but there's something on my heart that I want to tell you. As a man who had lived for a little while, who had observed for a little while, I think there's something on my heart that I really, really want to talk to you about to help you in this life. I may not be the most qualified, but I'll try. It's heavy duty, but I'll try. I want to help you. So keep an eye for that. So if you don't have notification, if you've not subscribed, the notification and things, just do that so that it's random, and not a lot of notes, in fact, maybe no notes. But I want to help you. There's something that I want to discuss with you and tell you about. But let me talk to you again about our 2 tracks that are coming up. One for emerging leaders. I'm going to mentor them starting in January. Registration details are coming very soon. Hopefully next week we should be able to put it out there. So get yourself ready. Download our app. If you want to go to Bible school, you want to do this, you want to do that. In fact, there's an example I was going to give, but I'll do that next week. But do that. Then there's another track for more accomplished leaders, and that is I'm going to do a master class, leadership master class. I'm going to school you on emotional intelligence, social graces, all of these things to help you win in the marketplace. It's not free. Everything that is good will cost you something. It may not just be money, but it will cost you something. So do that and it will be a blessing to you. For those of us in North America or those of us in the United States of America, this week is Thanksgiving week. Please take a little moment and be thankful. Thank God for your life. Thank God for what you have. Thank God for what maybe you don't even have, because you might not even need it in your space. Say thank you to some family. Say thank you to parents. Say thank you to friends. Say thank you to siblings. Say thank you to people who have been there for you. Say thank you. Because the greatest and the best emotion is not love. The healthiest emotion is not love. The healthiest emotion is gratitude. I want to say thank you to all of you. I have a wonderful team of accomplished gurus right here in my studio who help me, who let my voice be amplified and come to you day by day, faithfully. They help me. I want to say thank you to all of them. And thank you too to our partners, those who have given without us asking. Those who realize that it takes a lot for me to sit here. I hardly ask. But thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for those who pray for us. Thank you who are there for us. I thank God for your life. And God willing, I'll see you on Tuesday for episode 117. And that one I think I'll bring closure to. The rest are very powerful. Don't forget, it's in your house. Find it and use it. My name is Ofosu-Appiah, your ambassador of hope. Good night.